Good morning, students. Today our new chapter semiconductor electronics. So before of these semiconductor devices in our electronic circuits, we are using the vacuum tubes. But by using these vacuum tubes, we are facing so many problems. So they will consume consume high power, and they are operated at high voltages around 100 volts, and they are having a limited lifetime. And they are low reliability. So these are all the drawbacks in vacuum tubes. So these drawbacks are overcome by the concept of these solid state related semiconductor devices. So by using of these solid state semiconductors, we can consume low power and at a low voltage, and they are having the long life and high reliability. So we can overcome of the problems in vacuum tubes. All these problems are overcome by these semiconductors. So this is the new trend of the semiconductor devices we are using. So in previously in every monitoring systems also CRT, in that also we are using the vacuum tubes. But nowadays we can use the LED light, LEDs and LCDs. All these are advanced systems. So LED and LCD. So we are using the diodes here, diodes, transistors. So all these are using in nowadays. So what are the main advantages of these semiconductor devices? Means they are having the long lifetime, and they consume low power. So that is the main advantages of these semiconductor devices, and occupies very small place. So in every instrument we are having the on off button, we are using one LED. So for every remote we can send the information signals, also we can use the LEDs. So light emitting diodes. So we can go for our first topic, that is classification of metals, semiconductors and insulators. So already you know how to classify these materials based on the conductivity is the one theme, another one is the based on the energy gap is the another. So it is based on the conductivity, already you learn your lower classes, that is so which process having high conductivity, those are called as the metals. So metals having high conductivity. So here this conductivity range from where to where means 10 power 2 to 10 power 8 Siemens meter inverse, and their resistivity is equal to 10 power minus 2 to 10 power minus 8 ohm meter. So here having the low resistivity and high conductivity, they are called as the metal. So which can allows the electrons, which can having the good conductor, that is called as the metal. So here you can use the for metals, so having low resistivity and having high conductivity, low resistivity and high conductivity. So you can use the another unit also here, ohm inverse and meter inverse also. So Siemens is replaced with you can ohm inverse, that is also called as the mho. So actually you have to represent a ohm, and ohm inverse means it is the term you have to use. So this is also called as it is a represent of ohm, this for unit mho, mho. So the reverse of the reciprocal of this ohm is used another unit, that is mho. Okay, metals are having low resistivity, high conductivity. And next to go for the insulators. So insulator, they are having a high resistivity, low conductivity. Low conductivity, that means here that you have to observe the conductivity very less, that means 10 power minus 11 to 10 power minus 19 Siemens meter inverse. And here having a high resistivity. So what is the resistivity, what is the conductivity? The resistivity here, the resistivity is nothing but reciprocal of conductivity. So what is the conductance means? So conductance is nothing but reciprocal of resistance. Similarly, conductivity means, or resistivity means, or conductivity means, so reciprocal of resistivity. So conductance means reciprocal of resistance, conductivity means reciprocal of resistivity. Okay, here conductance units is equal to ohm inverse, that is called as a mho, and conductivity units mho and meter inverse. So what are the metals? Metals having high conductivity, low resistivity. Semiconductors having, so insulators having high resistivity and low conductivity. In between of these two, so the resistivity and conductivity lies between of metals and semiconductor, metals and insulators is called as the semiconductors. So first of all, what are the metals having high conductivity, and insulators having high resistivity, and these are having high conductivity, low resistance, but here high resistivity and low conductivity. So in between of these two we are having another, that is called as the semiconductor. What is that? Semiconductor. So based on this, this is the based on the conductivity or resistivity, the materials are classified into three categories, that is the metals, semiconductors and insulators. And now we go for the according to based on the solid state physics. So on the basis of the energy band gaps, so we can separate the materials, we can based on the energy gap we can separate them. So conductors, semiconductors, insulators. So before of that we can go for the what is the valency band, what is the conduction band, what is the forbidden band, forbidden gap or energy gap. So first of all semiconductors. Examples of the semiconductors, the elementary semiconductors are especially silicon and germanium. So these are having 4 electrons in their outermost orbit. Especially semiconductors are belongs to 4th group elements. So these are having 4 electrons in their outermost orbit. So semiconductors are silicon and germanium. So in case of silicon, their electrical configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p2. And germanium 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 4p2. So in case of silicon, it is 1 means first orbit. 1 means first orbit. So first orbit is filled with 2 electrons, and second orbit is filled with 2 plus 6, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And third orbit, this third orbit is filled with 1, 2, 3, 4. But if the outermost orbit having 8 electrons, then it is in stable configuration. That is the octant rule. So in the third orbit it having how many electrons? 4 electrons will be there. Similarly in case of germanium, So first orbit is 2, second orbit is completely filled with 8 electrons, third orbit is filled with 8 electrons, but fourth orbit having 4 electrons. Here outermost orbit having 4 electrons, here outermost orbit having 4 electrons. So you have to take the silicon crystal or silicon solid, crystalline solid. So here not you are taking single atom, it consisting of n number of atoms. So you have to take the silicon crystal, that means the crystal having n number of atoms. N number of atoms. In that n number of atoms you have to take n. So in that our outermost orbit is actually having, it can their chance for 8 electrons, but here 4 electrons are filled, remaining 4 electrons are empty. That means in that you have to take the silicon crystal, n number of atoms are there. That means in that 4n states are filled. 4n states are filled and remaining 4n states are empty. So in case of a solid, you have to take that the solid consisting of a n number of atoms. So in case of a single isolated atom, only the energy levels are discrete in manner. So already you draw the energy level diagram according to Bohr's atomic model. So the energy level diagram, but it is in case of single atom. But in case of n number of atoms means, so the outermost orbits all are overlapped. Then these energy levels are formed in continuous manner. Then that energy levels form a band that is called as the energy band. That is called as the energy band. And these outermost, that means it is the valency orbit. The outermost orbit is called as here valency orbit. This valency orbit is forms a one band that is called as the valency band. In this valency band is completely filled with 4n states, but remaining 4n states are empty. 4n states are empty. That forms a band that is called as the, it is a conduction band. Filled band is called as the valency band, and this empty band forms a band that is called as the conduction band. So here, what is the valency band? What is the valency band? All these valency electrons forms a one band. That band is called as the valency band. Above this valency band, one band is called, that is called as the conduction band. Conduction band. So in valency band, if it is the valency band, it is the top of the valency band. EV means here top of the valency band. In this valency band, it is completely filled. It is completely filled. And above this valency band, one band is there. So this band consisting of the 4n states, these 4n states are filled. But above the valency band, one band is there that is called as the conduction band. So it is the bottom of the conduction band, it is the top of the valency band. The gap between this valency band and conduction band, that means the gap between top of the valency band, listen carefully, the top of the valency band to bottom of the conduction band, the gap is called as the forbidden gap or energy gap. What is the definition of the energy gap? It is the gap between top of the valency band to bottom of the conduction band. Okay, so here what is the valency band? All the valency electrons are form a one band that is called as the valency band. If suppose you have to supply the external energy, then these valency band electrons are participate in conduction, then they form a band that is called as the conduction band. This band is formed with all filled electrons. All filled electrons, those are the 4n, and remaining 4n states are empty. And remaining 4n states are empty. That is called as here conduction band. So when you have to supply the external energy, these electrons are shifted to here. That means here we are getting the one vacancy and here getting the electron. So here the free electrons are formed at a conduction band and vacancy are also called as holes are formed at a valency band. In valency band vacancies are formed and conduction band free electrons are formed. Here what is the energy gap? It is the gap between top of the valency band to bottom of the conduction band. It is also called as the forbidden gap. It is also called as the forbidden gap. Based on this energy gap, the materials are classified into three categories. One is the metals or conductors or conductors. So in case of metals or conductors, all the the valency band and conduction band both are overlapped. That means it is the conduction band and it is the valency band. They both are in case of metals it is the conduction band and it is the valency band. They both are closed here. That means there is no energy gap. This energy gap is approximately equal to 0. If the energy gap is equal to 0 or the conduction band and the valency band are overlapped, then they are called as the metals. In metals, the valency band and conduction band both are overlapped. That means all these valency electrons are free to move in conduction by giving very small amount of energy. Then these valency band electrons are moved to conduction band. That means all valency band electrons are moved to conduction band. That's why here the conductivity is high. Here the conductivity is increases very easily. But in here in case of it is in metals, but in case of semiconductors there is a energy gap is there. That energy gap is approximately or that is a less than 3 electrovolts. That energy gap is less than 3 electrovolts. It is the conduction band, it is the valency band. So the energy gap is less than 3 electrovolts. So if at a low temperature this valency band is completely filled with electrons and the conduction band is completely empty. So when you have to supply the energy or heat energy, then here the conductivity increases. So here the vacancies are created in valency band and the free electrons are created in conduction band. So but in case of metals, already this valency band is completely filled. For metals or semiconductor insulators, the valency band is completely filled. But in case of metals, they both are overlapped. That means all these valency band electrons are participate in conduction. That means this one having already free electrons. But here you have to increase the temperature. Here the conductivity is increases. But here you have to increase the temperature. Conductivity is decreases. Why? Because already free electrons are there. You have to give an external energy, then there is a collision between the free electrons. Automatically due to that collision some amount of heat energy is generated. So by giving the temperature, here the conductivity is decreases. But in semiconductor, giving the temperature, conductivity increases. What about the insulators? So insulators means here the energy gap is greater than 3 electrovolts here. So they are having a very much large energy gap is there. So that's why these valency band electrons are not participate in conduction. So for this case, what are the examples? Best examples: wood and glass. For here the examples are elementary germanium, silicon. And here the examples are aluminium, copper, gold, So these are the examples for the metals. These are the examples for semiconductors. These are the examples for wood. So only one thing I will explain once again all the topics. Based on the conductivity, the materials are classified. So high conductivity means metals, low conductivity means insulators. In between of these metals and semi insulators, that is called as the semiconductors. Okay, and next, on the basis of energy band. So what is the, first of all, what is the energy band? So in case of single atom, according to Bohr's atomic model, single atom having discrete energy levels, but you have to take the bulk number of atoms. That means they are, the outermost orbits overlapped and they form a continuous energy levels. That is nothing but the energy band. So you have to take the outermost orbit, that is called as the valency orbit. These valency electrons forms a one band, that is called as the valency band. And above this valency band, one more energy band is there. If suppose these valency band electrons are participate in conduction, then the band is called as the valency band. The gap between these two, we can form a we can classify the materials that those are called as the, again, conductors, semiconductor, insulators, based on this energy gap. What is the energy gap? It is the gap between bottom of the conduction band to top of the valency band, or the top of the valency band to bottom of the conduction band. That is called as the energy gap or the forbidden gap. So based on this energy gap, so here we can take the semiconductors, especially germanium and silicon. These silicon having the 4 electrons in their outermost orbit. That means 4 electrons are filled. So you have to take the solid having n number of atoms. That means in that 4 n states are filled and remaining 4 n states are empty. So if suppose you have to give the temperature, then the electrons are shifted from valency band to conduction band. Then these 4 n states are filled states and these 4 n states are empty states. Okay. And based on this energy gap, if suppose the valency band and conduction band are overlap, those are called as the conductors. The electrons from the valency band can easily move into the conduction band. Hence, large number of electrons are available for the electrical conduction. The resistance of such materials is low and conductivity is high. Example: gold, aluminum, silver, copper. And semiconductors, a finite small energy gap is there, that is around 3 electrovolts. At room temperature, electrons move from valency band to conduction band. Increasing temperature, conductivity increases. For in case of germanium, the energy gap is 0.7 electrovolts. For silicon, 1.1 electrovolts. If suppose large energy gap between the valency band and conduction band, so the electrons are cannot excited from the valency band to conduction band by thermal excitation. So examples are glass and wood. So this is the energy level diagram. Okay, bye students.